Good stuff. I'm trying to think of what else. I just could have swore there's like something glaring that I'm missing, but. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. And so this is Parasite Eve. I'm going to be doing a quick tutorial. Not quick, probably. This is probably going to take a while. But there's a lot of stuff in the speedrun that runners do or don't do that they could probably do a little bit better, or like things that people don't necessarily know, like right off the bat, that are like bird stuttering and stuff like that. Just really, really small things that could help you shave off like a lot of time in the grand scheme of things. And I'm going to hopefully show you some of the stuff that I do personally. Whether or not you use it is completely up to you. But there's a lot of stuff like Primus's notes are incredible for this game. They're beautiful. But we don't actually have, or rather, it's sometimes hard to put some things to words in a text document, especially small things like where to not get caught on invisible structures or invisible walls and things like that, how to do certain strategies. It's easier to see them done visually than it is to just read about them. So hopefully people can use this in conjunction with the notes, and they can figure some stuff out from there. But we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to be using save states. That's why I'm an emulator, to kind of show a bunch of different scenarios for some situations. And on top of that, I'm going to be able to fast forward through like all the nonsense, like cutscenes and shit like that that we don't necessarily need. So the first thing is timing is going to start on new game. Like as soon as you hit new game, confirm it with X. In the scene transitions, like as soon as you hit X, go ahead and start your timer. You're going to deal with a cutscene that's about 1 minute and 28 seconds long before you're able to input your first command. And that could be a few seconds faster or shorter, depending on the system you're running on. I know that on PSP you can input your first command like at 128 or something like that, but regardless, wait for the cutscene. You're going to see this in front of you. You're just going to mash through it. You got a few boxes to mash, or just one, I guess. Really, just one. This muscle memory has me fooled, but so right here, you're gonna hit X, immediately hit start, and hit X again. I kind of keep the controller on my lap. A lot of people know, a lot of other runners play like this as well. I pretty much play the game like this, as you can see here. I got X with my index finger, and I got the circle with my middle finger, and then I use the D-pad because this game is better. You can either use D-pad or analog, one or the other, not both. And D-pad is going to be a lot better for menuing and stuff like that. So, yep, I hold it like this. So in this situation, in the very beginning, I noticed the fastest way to do it. Now you can do, like X. Fuck, how am I supposed to do this? You can do X, start X as fast as you want. But I prefer to like hold it in my lap and have my hand on the start and the X and just go X start X really quickly, and then that way I can immediately move my hand back. So I mean it's completely irrelevant. Like it's total preference, whatever works best for you, and you can do the fastest, the most consistently. And then you're going to want to X again. Master this as the screen changes. You got 3 more boxes, I believe. 1, 2, 3. And as soon as, just mash, start mashing triangle right there. Because as soon as you input the last X command, he's going to finish waving his arms, and that animation, you're going to be, so if you mash fast enough, you're not going to be able to open the menu up immediately. But you're going to menu, let me show you that again, because you're going to come here. This is what it's going to look like. You got this, you're going to hit how many fingers do I need to be able to fit inside? To make it onto the leaderboard. Dude, honestly, it depends. Some periods of my life are a little bit worse than others. and sometimes I'm a little bit more desperate or a little bit more willing. So, but here you're gonna hit triangle. You're gonna move down once, hit X again, down once, X, circle, 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 until that menu's gone. Now the reason I hold my controller like this is because when I have my finger on circle, that's how I run. Otherwise you walk exceptionally slow. But that way I can mash at the same time that I'm holding circle to run. And you're just going to progress forward and just hold up the entire time. Don't move any other direction. And you're going to start the next cutscene. Now once you get all that done in a rhythm, you should start this next cutscene at like 2 minutes even. Granted, it might be 2:05 if you're on like PS3 or emulator, and it'll hopefully be on like 157 if you're on PS3. So we're going to skip this actually. So this cutscene is 3 minutes long. So right around the 5-minute mark, you're going to gain control again. Skip as much of this as we can. So right here, 3 minutes later, in real time, you're gonna get this. Just start as soon as that cutscene starts fading out, just mash X until you see her knock that guy over. Start holding. Oh, and an important thing to know is that you can start moving before the screen finishes loading. I'll show you on one of these next screens, but it's important to know what screen is coming next, so you can start already holding circle and that direction. So by the time that she's pushed that guy, I'm already holding the next direction. And by the time the screen is finished loading, as opposed to being like back here, I'm like, up here. So it's 5 or 6 free steps you're going to take. Now up here you're going to wait. I know that it looks like you can turn right away, but you can't. That chair will sometimes bonk into you. That's something you're just going to have to get used to as far as feeling is concerned. It's not worth resetting over or anything like that, but it is annoying. You're going to run directly left, no other direction. Fastest way to go is just to hold left by itself. And right here you mash. And a good indicator for me is like when you're mashing is she's going to raise both of her hands up at the same time. And that means, like right there, that means you got one more text box. So immediately start holding up and mashing X. You want to stop about right here. That actually might be too close. And just keep mashing X through this entire fight for the most part. Because you got some text in between your actual attacks. Now this fight can go a couple different ways. I recommend that you just take that first hit until you get a little bit better to dodge like really, really precisely. And try to avoid the second one because it does more damage. So that one right there was a 5-hit fight. That fight can actually end in 4 or 5 or 6 hits. 4 hits means that all 4 hits were critical hits, and that's super rare. I think I've seen it twice ever. And most of the time you're going to get a 5-hit. That's where 2 of the 5 hits are critical. And then a 6-hit, which means you only got either 1 or fewer crits. And that really sucks. You lose about 3.5 seconds for every additional hit. So like a 603, a 602.5 is a 4-hit, a 605.5, and usually like 608, 609. Now the reason I take that first laser is because you actually lose time when you're dodging. Anytime that your ATB is full and you haven't used it as soon as you possibly can, you're just losing value off of when your ATB could be recharging. So I pretty much always take that first laser. Also, it does help for if your ATB is pretty slow. It'll actually put you a little bit ahead of her cycle, so that if you get a 6-hit fight, you're not going to see that last laser. Because there's oftentimes you'll get the 6 hit in, and even though she's dead, she's going to finish her animation. She's going to fire that laser, and then you have a little bit of animation lag afterwards. So that adds like another few seconds by itself. You hate to see that, so just take that first laser, and you really shouldn't deal with that very often, unless you have like 0 ATB at start. But anyways, 4, 5, or 6 hits. Just hit her till she's dead. We're just gonna mash X here. It's gonna fade out, do a little screen transition. Now while it does this, just continue to mash X. The good indication for when you should start preparing yourself to move is like right as she raises her gun, you're gonna keep mashing, and this is why it's important to hold it like I do here, because you can be holding circle and left, which is where you're gonna be moving next. So that way, as soon as you're done mashing, you're already moving in that direction as soon as the final text box is gone. And here you're gonna hold right in circle. You're gonna hold circle always, because that's how you run. Unfortunately, there's no way to like turn it off or anything like that in this game. So that's it's kind of a bitch. But you get used to it. So you mash through this. You actually, so this next text box you're gonna see after this little girl runs away, it doesn't go away on its own. You have to input an X command. However, you'll see here that after I do it, it still has like a little bit of lag before it finishes. So right here you just hold up. That's it, just up. Continue to just hold up, and it's going to take you right to the next scene. This game has very, very unilateral movements. Very, very simple. You're going to hold circle, and usually you're going to move in one direction for the entirety of the screen. There's a few screens that are larger, and you have to obviously move multiple directions or whatever, but for the most part, when you're going from one screen to the next, you're going to be holding one direction or like diagonal. So it's important to remember to always be holding whatever direction is next, even throughout the load of the screen. So if I'm moving left on a screen, I'm loading into the next screen, and I need to be moving right as soon as that screen loads. Just as soon as that load starts, start holding right. That way you're guaranteed to get those steps in by the time the load is finished. Now right here, this fight can either end in either 1 or 2 hits if you hit both times. If you miss, obviously it could take forever. But if you get a crit, you'll do 18 damage and you'll kill him, like you saw right there. If you don't get a crit, it's going to take 1 more hit. And I wish I would have save stated there, because it's important to know the movement. He can move any way he wants right off the bat. Sometimes he gets real close to you. You only have to take a couple steps forward. But if you miss, or if you hit him and he doesn't die on the first hit, you want to take a few steps away so that you're out of his melee range. And that forces him into a fireball attack, which is his ranged attack. And that has a long charge time. So by the time that that's even ready to go, like you've already hit him that second time. So unfortunately I wasn't able to show that to you, but I'll probably get around to editing that in a little bit. But yeah, that's important. So right here, just see, this is where I'm mashing X even though I'm holding circle. Now as soon as that text box is gone, you want to let go, because if you're holding X, it actually takes you back to moving, slowly walking. I'm going to show you this real quick. So right here, you're just going to be holding up, and right as you see this point on the ground, so I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of like where this, right under Aya's feet right here. I'm going to get away from it and point at it. So you can kind of see how there's like a big light spot, a medium light, kind of looks like a snowman, and the head would be right up here in this light spot. Right at this neck piece is where you're going to turn and go this way. And just run straight into that door. Now this screen is actually a bit tricky. You're going to want to hold up and then down. So really quickly, up and then down and left. And then that should knock the body over. You don't have to hit X to knock the body over or anything like that. Just running into it should knock the body over. So yeah, I'll show you what it looks like again. So you're going to want to hold up. And then just for like a split second. And then you're going to go this way. So you want to get like to the edge of this desk and then run it at like an downward angle like this. And you'll run into this guy every time. It's hard to do that screen consistently. Now here's actually a screen I'm going to show you. Do a save state right here. As soon as you come out of this door, just start holding straight down. Now you'll notice that you get caught right here. I know a lot of people will come out and run like this. And I'll show you why that's not a good idea. So let me show you I'm going to use the timer here. Now obviously I'm on emulator, it's going to be a little slow, but comparing emulator to emulator, it should be a good representation. So we're going to hit the load, start the timer. Now I'm going to hold a downward diagonal route. Come here. So by the time you hit that door, we're at about 6 seconds. Now if I do it another way, by holding just straight down, it's going to be a little bit quicker. And, you know, in the grand scheme of things, every second eventually counts. But so, oops, I fucked that up, sorry. So as soon as we start loading, I'm going to hit this. I'm going to move down, and boom, we're at the door before 6 seconds. Now, one thing that's important to note is if you're running straight down, you can't just hold straight down. So as you get to like the edge of this door, you just want to input the lightest command to the right. So you see me, how I flickered a little bit? Just the lightest command possible. You only have to dodge it by a pixel. So make sure you don't get stuck on there, otherwise it's obviously going to lose your time. But that is one thing that it's one of the very, very many things in this game where you're going to get stuck on stuff. So you hold straight down, flicker to the right, and then as you round the corner next to the gold bar that's here on this door, you're going to want to input into the door. Now when you go into doors, the best thing to do is run towards the door. Let's see if I can, it's going to be hard to display, but run towards the door. Here it's not as bad, the NYPD it especially is, but right about here, you're going to want to run towards the door. And right as you get to the door itself, if you don't go through it, make sure that you put in, because that door's taking me left, I need to go to the left to go into it, just hold left so that you're running directly into that door handle. Because this game has a really, really bad habit of like making your face like slide across doors. And it sucks because you'll think that the door is locked or whatever. So go through the door, immediately hold up and left here, and this will take you to the book. As soon as the screen transitions, try to hit X. It's not easy. A lot of people miss. I miss this probably 70% of the time. You lose like half a second or whatever. But you want to be like right around here, to where Aya's bra strap or like dress strap is lined up with like the center of the book, and you're facing it. So right about here. I mean, just make sure you're facing the book. Hit X. She's going to take a look at it. Then you're just going to want to mash X all the way through. And you'll know when it's done because you'll obtain the item. Once you've obtained the item, hit X to confirm picking up the item, and then immediately just hold the right in circle as soon as that's done, because that's going to take you out of the room. You don't need to enter the room the same diagonal route that you came in. So as soon as I do that, I'm holding right in circle. By the time her standing up animation is finished, you'll already be moving. So you got a little bit of wiggle room. Right here, you're just going to want to hold diagonally up and right. So about right here, you don't actually have to hit the door at the door handles. You can hit it as long as like you're close. I wouldn't hit it like dead on in the center of the red squares or anything like that. But at least be close to the handles, and she'll go through it every time. You don't need to be exact on that. Immediately hold up in circle here. Just hold up to run. She's gonna drop her foot back like that. That's when you start mashing. You're just gonna mash through this, and eventually it's gonna lead into a cutscene. After the cutscene, you're gonna have a couple spots to mash as well. So we'll go ahead and fast forward this. Quick cutscene. So right here, she's gonna say something. I'm actually going to save state. She's gonna say something. Hit cool, whatever, thanks. You hit it a second time, and the fight will begin. Now, this fight is huge as far as like saving and losing time. A couple things you need to know is that you can get in 2 attacks for every one of her attacks as far as timing is concerned. Now you can see here that I started with really good ATB, which means that I should be able to get an attack off right away. And as I said earlier, anytime that your ATB is full and you're not using it, you're losing value on having it recharging. So you want to get your attacks out as soon as your ATB is full, pretty much the entirety of the run. I can't think of any situations where you're going to want to hold on to it or stall. Maybe the spider, but even then, It's important to just get your ATB out as soon as possible so that you can quickly have it recharging. So here you want to squeeze in attacks as much as you can. She went a really bad way. Yeah, this is it. Usually, here I'll show. It's a better way to do this. So usually I start moving up. Because if she happens to go up and I happen to have good ATB at the same time, I'm getting an attack off in like the first half second of this fight. So I usually will start holding up in diagonal, and then I'll readjust after I see what direction she moves. But see right there? You don't have to be right on top of her. You just got to be close. And you just want to swing at her and run away. And then kind of give her some space so that she's baited into this laser beam attack. But remember, if you can afford to take a little bit of damage, run at her, because like I said, you want your ATB to be out as quickly as possible. Wow, that was... Of course I get an amazing E fight when I'm doing a tutorial. I wanted to show you what she looks like when she's swatting, so we'll try that again real quick. I'll time it. This fight can last 20 seconds, this fight can last 40 seconds. If you're missing a lot, you're going to lose a lot of time. If you're not getting good crits, you're going to lose a lot of time, and you can die here really, really easy if you're being greedy. Now, to play this fight safe, if you've attacked and you feel like she's about to attack, like it's been a while since her last attack, and you're worried about dying, and you just want to complete the run or whatever, just give her some space, and you'll almost always bait her into that attack. Now, granted, sometimes she'll run up next to you and just punch you in the head, and there's really nothing you can do about that. Just gonna have to do something you gotta kind of deal with. She swats me and kills me all the time. I believe the highest damage roll she can roll is 27, so as long as you're above 27 health, you're gonna be alright. If you're new, if you're just trying to make it through the fight without dying, stay far away from her, squeeze in, maybe just one attack to her attack, take it slow, don't be afraid to heal yourself with Parasite energy. But if you're trying to get a real optimal time, hit her as soon as you can, every single time. Sometimes that means you're going to take a swat to the face, and that's fine, because you can afford to. You have 45 health, 27 is the highest I believe she can hit for. I could be wrong, but if you're above 30, you're going to be completely fine. So I'm going to show you what this looks like. I'm going to start holding up, diagonally up and left. And see, so I'm already running to meet her in the middle. So right there, I took a hit. She decided to keep moving. You know, there's not really a great strategy around that, but right here is a good example. So I can stand in a position like up here, right where I am right now, and this covers all except one of her possible routes. Now this is something that is very minute, and that will, like when you're shaving off like your seconds of your PBs and you're going for like a really, really optimized time or whatever, this is when these kind of things are important. As you can see here, I'm in range to attack her. Now, if she decides to go up the right wall, I'll stay in range because of how large she is. So if she goes straight up along this right wall, I'm going to be able to hit her. If she comes diagonally to the center, I'm going to be able to hit her. If she moves up anywhere within here, let's see if I can do this real quick. This might actually help quite a bit. Ah! Oh, perfect. Okay, so if she goes up this way, I can hit her. If she goes up anywhere in this direction, in this arc, I'm going to be able to hit her because of where I'm positioned right now. So as soon as my attack comes out, if she starts moving this way, I got her. This way, any way that she can go. The only way that I can't cover is if she goes directly this way. And even still, if she moves directly this way and is about right here, by the time my attack comes out, I'll still be able to hit her. So a good thing to remember about this fight is that you want to cover every single option as often as possible. That's how you get this fight down to a really sexy time, as opposed to something like sometimes you can lose 20 seconds because you're missing a lot. Well, if you are missing a lot and you find yourself doing that in this fight, just kind of like watch your VOD and see what your positioning is like. Because even though right here, like it looks irrelevant, you just want to run and hit her, there is actually a lot of micromanagement you can do as far as positioning. So right now I can cover every single option except that if she goes down here. And even still, with the right amount of timing, I can cover that as well. So potentially I can cover 100% of her movement options here. Now she'll probably attack, but if she decides to skip her attack cycle and take off, I got it covered. And you can do that everywhere. Just kind of remember, kind of look. If she's in the center, kind of just stand. And you're not going to always be able to cover every single option, obviously. But, you know, it goes without saying, stand in the most advantageous position to where you're covering, you know, as many possible routes that she can travel on as you can. So you're going to see me attack right here. I actually took a step forward like an idiot. So right here, if she goes anywhere down here, if she goes up here to the right, I'm going to be able to tag her up until this line right here. If she comes anywhere down here, I got her. So this half of the screen I have covered by this position right here. Now if she goes that way, obviously there's nothing I can do about it. And you know, there's not really anything you can do when she's in the center anyways. It's a lot harder to pin her than when you are in the corners. But I'm going to hit her. I'm going to move right here. As you can see, if she decides to go any way, I have her 100% covered. So I'm going to hit this. And this is, you can see the distance I have from her. Even though it doesn't look like you're going to hit her, you are. Her tail right here is actually where her hitbox starts, the very tip of it. Now this is important for things like contact damage, where you need to know stuff like that. So right here I have every option covered, kind of give her some space. This is what happens when you get swatted. That's how much damage it does on average. It's about 18. Like I said, 27 is the max. And yeah, sometimes she'll punch you in the face. Try not to get punched in the face twice because you'll probably die. For lasers, as long as you're like directly in front of her, it's going to be rare that she ever hits you with them. Now, oftentimes she'll do like this sweep where she starts to move a little bit with her lasers. I'm going to move that. And when she does that, just kind of like tap whatever direction she's sweeping in to kind of stay in the center of those lasers. It's nothing too complex. And you'll kind of figure that out as you go, just from playing. So we master this cutscene with clamp. Now I will already be holding up, diagonally up, holding circle and mashing X. And as soon as you see her start to stutter, release the X, because that means you've finished the command. Now you can run a couple different ways here. They're all exactly the same. You can take a few steps up and run diagonally. You can run up diagonally. Just don't run straight up, left, and then up. That's going to be the slowest way. I actually, I just pretty much always run like this, straight up, and as soon as I kind of feel like I'm lined up with the seat right here, I'll run forward. Now, if you are like close to the seat, kind of like right here, you'll actually just bounce off of it, immediately start mashing X at the hole. So don't be, as long as you don't run into like straight up into the piano, you're gonna be okay. So right here, hold circle, just hold up. I'm gonna assume you're holding circle this entire time. So right here, this is actually something that I noticed a lot of people do incorrectly. There's a really good way to do this that is going to benefit you for a few reasons, and I'm going to explain why. So right off the bat, you're going to see 3 rats. The best thing to do here is to run diagonally down and left. So you're going to see me do that. Immediately start holding it, so you're right here. You want to be on this side of this rat. Now, one of 2 things is going to happen. Either the rats at the top are going to stay where they're at, or they're going to, one or both, will come down to you. And that's why I kind of stopped myself right here, not all the way down, but you'll see that I can input this command. Oh, I moved forward, so that was a terrible example because I botched it. But this, I'm going to explain why this is so helpful. It's hard to do with pausing. So I come here, I immediately, what the, oh, I didn't heal, that's my bad. So you're going to want to run up again. You're always going to want to run to the left side of this rat. And the reason for that is because, that never happens, but this way you're in the best position to catch this rat at the top. By the time this one notices you, you'll bait an attack out. And that way you're always staying out of range of them. The only damage you're going to risk taking is if they both run down and try to collapse on you, in which case you just run up a little bit further down, you should dodge it. But that way you're almost always going to hit that first rat. Oops. Like immediately. Usually you start this fight with really good ATB. So you run down. That way you're in the best position to tag that rat. So right here, see how he ran down to me? I'm going to dodge this, come over here, And the reason for this is important because you want to end every single fight as close to the next screen as possible. So right here, you're going to see this is a very easy attack to dodge. It's slow, and it makes them stay in place because of the lag of the animation. So you don't have to worry about missing. As soon as you see this attack, you pretty much got a free guaranteed hit as long as you're within range of them. So what you're going to do here is immediately hit this guy, start moving up. And the reason that you do it in that order, I do it right to left. I know that that works. I think you can probably do it left to right, as long as the top ones get dealt with last. Because that way you're going to end in a position where you're always going to be closest to the screen. By the time this comes, like I can't actually move up any further. The barrier stops me. And that way you're not doing the bottom one last or allowing them to scramble so that you're going to be in a position to, by the time you kill the last one, you're losing time by not being as close to the screen as possible. And it's also the safest, because by doing that, killing the one closest to you immediately removes him as a threat. The other two are going to be far enough away that they're baited into a very, very easy, very dodgeable attack. They're rooted in place, and it's going to be the easiest for you to hit both of them and then move on to the next screen. Every single one of those is going to die in one hit every single time. So you just want to tag one. I do tag bottom, tag top left, and that's my order every single time. I never stray from that, and I never have issue. And I'm actually at the top of the screen already, so I can't actually go up any further till I finish mashing that out. You're going to want to run up, continue holding up, and you're going to automatically start the next fight. Now this one, let's go ahead and do that like this. This one, you just want to hold right immediately. This is the best way to do this fight as well. You just start mashing X. Usually you're going to have full ATB. And that way you bait this rat up here into an attack. Now I'm going to explain the frogs to you real quick because a lot of people struggle with them. I'm actually going to do another save state. So the frog, you're going to see, he's going to hop twice, to do like two, he hops like once and then a little hop. Consider that one hop cycle. He's going to have two hop cycles, and on the third one he's going to turn to you and attack. You should almost always, unless you miss, be able to kill both of the rats before he's able to attack you. Now, as you can see, if I dodge the hit to the left, he's going to hit me. Now, if I dodge the hit to the right, it's a lot harder for him to hit me. And the reason for that is this. When his tongue comes out, the hitbox actually extends. So I'm going to stand right here. So right here, you can see how it hangs out of the right side of his mouth. The hitbox actually kind of comes around like this. It's like right here, and then it kind of arcs at the same time. So to this side of him, to his right, to the side where his tongue is, it's a much larger hitbox. It covers like all of this space right here. Whereas on this side, it ends right here. So as long as you're like over here, you're going to dodge it every time. But if you dodge to this side, the odds are very, very likely that he's going to catch you with it. And you can see that right there. So the hitbox actually comes out to the center, but it also goes this way. So it's huge to this side, very small to this side. I don't know why they designed a lot of the enemies like that in this game, but they did. So it's kind of a nuisance. But always dodge to the frog's left. You're going to dodge it almost every time, unless you're like really poorly positioned or something. But 100% safe. Over here, it's really, really hard to dodge, even if you're moving really, really well. Oftentimes, you're able to kill both rats and squeeze in an attack, and then immediately start running to the frog's left. I can't now because of where I did my save state, but oh, I think I can do this. Okay, cool. So this is what this fight should look like. Immediately to the right every time. That's going to give this guy some time to do this attack. So as you can see, the frog has got one more cycle before he's going to attack. Then I run out. I run to this way, and I hit him again. Now he's going to hop. Don't be afraid to take some contact damage here if you have to, and try to end as close to that box as possible. So that's a perfect fight right there. What you just saw is 100% perfect how it should work every time. I didn't take any damage from anything. I killed the first rat immediately, baited the second one into the safe dodgeable attack, and I was able to squeeze in an attack on the frog, dodge his tongue attack, and then finish him off with 2 more hits. Now that frog can actually die in 2 hits if you crit him twice, but don't bank on it. This is something that is a small thing that people don't pay too much attention to, but it is helpful. When you're holding a text prompt like this, ready to receive something, if I just mash X, Oh, you know what I should do? If I just mash X right here, you're going to see that it asks me to drop an item inside, and I just put something inside on accident. And it's going to be whatever's first in your inventory. So the best thing to do is to accept commands with circle. So as you see that, it's going to accept it the same way that X would, but it's not going to prompt me to drop something in the box, which it will do. You got like 1 frame after you've accepted it to stop mashing X in order to dodge that drop an item thing. So yeah, you're going to want to accept all of ammo crates, anything you pick up, you're going to want to accept like this with circle. And that makes it, it's just 1 command, you can start moving, your finger's already on circle. Oh, I guess I should explain that. So right here, if you're not careful, you'll get caught on this. And as you can see, it extends way further than what it looks like. So I'm actually running right here, and I'm stuck on it. So kind of get yourself close to this. I like to line myself up with the edge of this light right here and run forward. Immediately start mashing. You got 2 inputs here. As soon as the girl runs away, there's going to be a second text box. You go ahead and hit X. And immediately start holding diagonally right. Now, a lot of people do this differently, and how you do it is kind of up to you. There's no real optimal way to open this box. It's kind of because of where the camera angle is, it kind of sucks. But you can see I can't actually move yet. So because I'm holding right and up, I'm already going to be moving in the correct direction. Oh shit, you know what? So that's what that looks like. But I'm going to show you how I do it. I count. First I count to 4, then I count to 10. So I'm already holding up and right. I go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I hold right and up. And eventually you're going to hit this box. Now, you know, that's not the greatest way to do it, because if you count fast or slow, you know, use Mississippi's or 1001s or whatever the hell you need to do. And that way it's a little bit more consistent as far as your counting is concerned. Otherwise, just run at it until you can hit it is basically what you do. But it's super, super hard to hit it optimally because it's actually a lot further back than it looks. So 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, and then just start running diagonally right up to it. Okay, so this is this is interesting. So out of this box, as you can see, I just picked up the offense 1, I reset it, or I loaded the save state, and now I'm looking at an offense 2. Now if you get the offense 2, you're gonna again accept it with circle, and immediately open up and do the menu, the next menu. I'll do that menu here in a second. But if you get the offense 1, which is going to happen 80% of the time, if not more, just hold directly, kind of step out to the left a little bit, hold directly down, and then down and right, and you're gonna, so that you can run into this. Because as you can see here, there's actually like a little barrier that I can't get around. So that's why I kind of step to the left. You want to roll it down and right, and she's gonna roll off that wall into this next room. You're gonna hold diagonally down, and then let go of it. And you can actually get this chest, even though it looks like you're not near it. You can get it like this. You're gonna want to accept the offense 1. And let's just pretend I got 2 offense 1s, because that's what usually happens. If you get offense 2, you actually can skip this whole room and just open the menu as soon as you get it, and do this menu there. So this menu is gonna look like this. You're gonna open menu, you're gonna hit X, you're gonna go all the way down. Your items are gonna be like this every single time. Now, sometimes you might get an extra medicine in one of these fights. It's really rare, but if you do, this offense is actually gonna be down here. Just pay attention when you're doing the menu so that you don't accidentally use the medicine or something like that. But you're going to go to offense 2, you're just going to hit use, down once, good, down once, good. Now you're going to come here. You can actually do it, like it would make more sense to just hit heal next since it's all in a line, then hit this, down 2, exit all the way out. I actually go 1, I hit X twice, down, X, X twice, down, X. Then I move to the gun and do this. And the reason I do this is because sometimes I'm full health, or I've got enough health where I actually don't need to waste the command to heal. that half second or a second or whatever it takes. So I can actually, while I'm equipping my gun and letting muscle memory do this menu, I can see my HP down here in the corner and say, oh, okay, I'm fine. Or, holy shit, I really need to heal. Now here you're just going to want to hold directly left. You don't got to exit through this. You don't have to exit through this or anything like that. You just need to go straight left. Now as soon as you finish loading, you're going to want to hold down, like diagonally down and left at the same time. Right as you get to there. Dang it, I should have showed that better. As soon as you get to like where you're hidden behind the pillars, that's when you need to just release down and just be holding left. So like right here is when you need to do it, and you'll go through that door every time. Now this fight is interesting because you can actually save a ton of time on it if you get lucky. It's one of the first instances of that outside of the offense too. The best thing to do here is to just get as close to this top frog as possible. Just mash X so you fire all your shots. Dodge the frog up in this direction, again because that's to the frog's left, and as we discussed earlier, it's the best way to do it. If you don't kill the first frog in the first 3 bullets, you're going to want to fire 1 bullet at him next. So I fire 1, and then I fire 1, 2. Now if you kill him, you can actually kill him in 1 turn with 2 of the 3 bullets being critical. And if you kill both of the frogs in 1 turn, basically out of your 6 hits, getting 4 crits, it's unlikely, but when you do it, it saves a lot of time because you don't have to do the menu afterwards, unless you took damage and you need to heal anyways. But regardless, this is what happens most of the time. You're going to want to fire 4 bullets into the top one, 4 bullets into the bottom one. So that's going to kill him. Again, you want to dodge this frog to his left. Just fire shots. That's going to kill him. Now, I'll show this again because of the positioning. I get as close to the top frog as possible because the closer, that increases my accuracy and my critical hit rate. So, boom, boom, boom. No such luck. As I said earlier, dodge up here. Now you want to kind of stand. You see this big arc around me? This is my accuracy range, basically. This is the gun's range. Now, when you're smashing, you won't be able to input it. You'll just kind of have an idea for the feel of guns once you get used to it, like what their ranges are. But here, the frog is going to hop out, but I should still be in a position to, by the time he's finished hopping and I've fired a bullet, to be able to hit him without losing any accuracy. And I'm still in a position where I can hit this guy while not losing any accuracy. So again, similar to the E fight, you want to be in a position where you're covering the most options, giving yourself the best spacing as far as being able to have room to dodge attacks, as well as being able to maintain both targets so that you're not accidentally missing one in order to stay closer to the other. You want to keep them both. You want to stand in positions that allow you to hit the most enemies with single movement, with just the same position that you're in. So I'm not going to like run to the bottom right while I finish off this top frog, or there's no chance that I'm going to hit this other frog over here all the way on the left. So yeah, hit him. Then I usually will, in this fight right around here, because as you can see, that's actually within the range. So if the frog is like anywhere on this 75% of the screen, like from here to where he's standing now, you're going to be able to hit him. He's hardly ever going to go this way, especially because he has to be at a certain distance to be able to attack you. So he usually likes to stay within here. But this is where I need to go as soon as the screen is over. So you can see I'm already in the best position possible to not lose any time. And then, like I said, just cap him. Oh my god, I lied to you guys. I was a little bit out of range. Regardless, fire 1 shot. So I screwed that up. That was my bad. Poor demonstration. But yeah, the screen moves up. You immediately, as soon as that fight is over, start mashing X. You're going to go here. You're going to want to hit right once, down 3 times. Now again, if you have a medicine, this gun will actually be either over here or over here, depending on how many medicines you've received. Just find the M19, come over to it, hit reload, and you should be at 4 bullets. So it's faster to hit down twice. Just hold down until it says 6. Make sure you hit X to confirm it, because if you hit circle, it'll actually not do it. And that's really, really bad if you go into the next fight without reloading. But you do that, might as well top yourself off. Now if you kill both of the frogs in 1 turn apiece, you actually will be at the perfect amount of ammo, and you won't need to do any of this menuing. You just instead immediately start moving up to this box here. You're gonna hit press the switch. If you hit use the phone, it's gonna save. It's gonna attempt to create a save file. If you need to save for safety saves, this is where you do it. This is probably the only place I would safety save in day one. The other spots are like kind of out of the way and a little pointless because you can just reset at that point. But anyways, you press the switch, you're gonna immediately start holding right and diagonally right into it. You don't need to go straight up. Now this, just hold up, because this is actually a timed text box and not one you mash through. And as soon as the screen transitions like that, you just start mashing. You're gonna mash until a cutscene, so just keep mashing until the cutscene. Like there's no cue as far as like stop mashing here or anything like that. Just keep going until the cutscene happens. And you got a cutscene right here. This is gonna be the alligator fight. Now there's actually I'm gonna skip all this nonsense. The alligator is a weird guy, because he's the only fight in the game where you don't want to see crits. Now you're always gonna get this. There are 2 targets. Thanks game. Doesn't tell you the best way to deal with it. Doesn't advise you of anything. It just lets you know, hey, guess what? There's 2 things that are gonna kill you instead of just the one. Appreciate it. Cool. I'm gonna create a save state here. Hey, what's going on, man? It's good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, actually, Cataclysm, while I was doing this earlier, I had a guy come in and say something about like fingers in his butthole or something. So now when I upload this tutorial VOD, that's gonna be on there, and I was like, well, you know what? Whatever. That's pretty standard for a stream of mine. But anyways, to the alligator, it's gonna say there are 2 targets. You're gonna hit X to confirm that. Circle does not work on text commands like this in battle. It's only going to be X. So for this, I think Shiva is the only other one where you're going to have one of these prompts, and you're just going to hit X. But the important thing to do is to hit X, start moving up and to the left. You want to stop like right about here. What's a good way to pause this? You know what? It's going to screw me up, but still, just to show you guys. Oh shit, because that doesn't work. Anyways, you're gonna want to run up to where this is. Unfortunately, pausing it makes the screen darker, so it doesn't help a whole lot. But you want to stay like right around here. You don't want to be all the way at that, because as you do your maneuvering, it's going to put you in melee range. So as long as you stay up here, move in this kind of arc, you'll be able to hit his tail every time without running risk of damage. So I'm going to do this fight quickly, just to show you what it looks like. Don't feel bad if this fight goes to shit. It goes to shit for me most of the time. So start running. 1, 2, 3. Start moving over here. He's going to throw that attack out, but by being over there, you bait him into swishing his tail that way, and not having the fan arc of his attack is never going to reach you. So you're going to run over here. If you're close enough to the tail, it's going to auto-target the tail because it's closest. Now make sure that you're aware of what you're targeting, because if you shoot him in the head, he's going to frenzy, he's going to beat the crap out of you. You have to kill his tail first. So make sure all your shots are going into the tail. So unload all 3. No crits, that's good. Immediately hold down and kind of get your space from him, and then repeat. 1, 2, 3. You don't want to see 2 crits. See, this way I'm keeping space, so where I'm always going to dodge his tail attack. But he's also so far away from me that he can't use his melee because he's too far away. Now I know a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll come over here. So count to 3, 1, 2, 3, start moving. A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll cut it a lot closer, just start moving diagonally down like this. And when you do that, it's going to be a lot harder to dodge, because based on where your positioning is, he's going to sweep his tail the other direction. So again, show you what this looks like. This game looks dope, interesting combat. It is very, very unique. Not even the other games in the series are like it. Parasite Eve 2 is a completely different style of game. So the combat is insanely interesting. It's amazing. If you're interested in playing it casually, I highly suggest it. If you want to join the speedrunning community, that would be amazing. But like I said, hit X, come up to here. 1, 2, 3, gonna run, shoot the tail, and then run down first, and then diagonally up, and then return, and just rinse and repeat that. Now, as you can see, I already crit once. I can't afford another crit. If I crit again, that's bad news. Alright, perfect. So I crit on the last hit, so it's irrelevant. But it's important to notice, on the first 2 rounds, when you fire 3 bullets, and then your second round of 3, if you have criticals, if you have 2 crits in any of those 6 bullets you fire, you're going to be off in your reload animation. If you have 2, if you have 1, just continue the fight as normal and hope you don't crit on the very last, on one of the last 3 attacks, or 3 bullets. But if you already have seen 2, and you haven't fired your last round in his tail, fire 1 shot at the head, and then the last 2 bullets at the tail, and that'll keep you on your reload cycle, which saves time and makes the fight less dangerous in the next phase. Anyways, once you do that, he's going to do this. Immediately just start running up. You want to get close to him. A lot of people screw this up by being afraid of how close they are. Don't be afraid to take contact damage here. Just kind of stand inside of his legs right here, and you're going to dodge the attacks every single time, as well as being in range to have the max amount of crit value. So as you can see, I'm critting because I'm right in front of him. And just keep firing shots. If you get hit, there you go. See, it's that easy. Don't be afraid to kind of stand right up against his belly. When you do that, he's gonna usually he'll do 2 fire attacks. He'll always do a fire attack to open up with, almost always. Occasionally he's a real big a-hole and he's gonna melee, and that sucks. In that case, just run away from him until he swings at you, and then continue to fight him. You can afford to take 1 melee hit to the face, but you can't afford to take 1 melee hit and fire, or 2 melee hits. You can afford to take 2 fires, so regardless, if you do what I just did, standing like within his legs, like his thighs, staying kind of next to one of them, you're almost always going to dodge the fire attack. And that way you can just stay mashing X. That way, as soon as your ATB is charged, you're unloading, and it's charging again. So right here, you're just going to want to mash. That's all you do. You actually don't hold any directions or anything like so. I'm going to fast forward this. You just mash through all of this. As soon as you see Daniel shift up, I'll show you what it looks like. That means that you don't have to mash anymore. It's right here. It's just going to carry out into the next scene, which is actually a cutscene. Yeah, like all the text is auto-scrolling and whatnot. And that is the end of... Holy shit, it took me an hour to cover day 1. Oh my god. I'm in for an... This is going to take a fucking while, oh my god. So congratulations, you've beat the first 20 minutes of the game. It took an hour for me to explain it. So yeah, fast forward through this shit, I don't care about any of this. But yeah, this is the, I usually split as soon as the screen fades black, whatever works best for you. We don't have rules on when you need to split, obviously. The only split that matters is the one where you start it and the one where you stop it, so. You actually can't input X as soon as the screen, you gotta kind of wait for it to finish loading. Then you want to hit that and hit no. Like if you want to save here, you can totally save. If you don't want to save, you don't have to. I don't save, but if you're first run or whatever and you're scared, you'll actually have more places to save. But if you're really second guessing yourself, you really had a struggly time with the alligator or Eve or whatever, feel free to fucking save. Saving takes a long time though, I'll warn you with that. So I hit no. Alternatively, I've theory crafted that it might actually be like a split second like maybe 0.2 seconds faster to just mash X and then hit circle as soon as the load menu opens up. But on the slower consoles, PS3 emulator, anything that's not PSP or PSTV, it's probably not going to be faster. But yeah, in PSP or PSTV, if you're just smashing X and it says save and you hit confirmed yes and it pops up that window, just immediately start hitting circle and it loads out. So that actually is faster if you do it really quickly, but habitually I just X down X. Right here you're just going to mash, so I'm going to fast forward some more. In-depth analysis is fun to watch, game data and shit. I appreciate that, man. Hopefully I'll be covering as much in-depth as I can. Just because there's a lot of really small things that save you a few seconds here and there in the overall speed run. So that is, you know, I just would like that information to be out there. Whether or not people use it or watch it or whatever is totally up to them. But I feel like I'm doing my part at that at that point. And anybody who's a regular of my channel, I am in a different spot. All the electricity in my room went out, so I'm waiting for maintenance to come to fix it. So I might, halfway through this or whatever, have to drop stream for maintenance to turn off all the breakers and to fix this shorting outlet that we have that's fucking everything up. And when that happens, I'll just, as soon as he's done, I'll go back up. So don't fret if that happens. I'm not dying. There's no bomb or anything. So right here, this is actually something that is really finicky that the game has about it that I hate. So you can either accept with circle. I believe you can accept with circle. Let me check quick. Yeah, you accept with circle. That's what I usually do. Or X. Obviously, X is safe here because you're not in front of anything that you're going to prompt a conversation. Baker's too far away for you to talk to anyways. Regardless. Excuse me, goodness. So usually, you're going to want to be holding the direction right. So I'm going to be holding up and right at the same time because I want to get out that door over here as quickly as possible. But you actually can't be holding any other button. Like if I'm holding any directional button, triangle or square, start, any of that, you actually won't be able to accept this. So like, as you can see, I'm holding right. I hit, oh, what the fuck? I look like an idiot. Okay. Oh, I guess you can. Maybe I'm just, what the no, I could have swore that's not the case. Regardless, whatever. Try not to be holding any direction when you accept this. Oh no, you know what it is? It's if you're holding the direction when the screen pops up, you gotta let go. So if you have already been inputting it, like if you do it now while the screen is already up, you're safe. So as soon as you see this screen up, I'm trying to think because I do this so quickly that it's really hard. I don't really think about it, so I'm having to like kind of dig into my my brain a little bit. But so just to be safe, so that you don't get caught, just as soon as you hit this, I just double tap circle. And then start holding the direction I need to go in. And that is going to, fuck, I fucked up my save state. Whatever. So yeah, I will double tap circle, and on the second tap of it, also be holding up and let go, up and right again. Now this, okay, I got it. This door is actually one of the hardest ones to do optimally. Did I fuck something up? Yeah, great. Okay, cool. So when I must have paused before I hit my save state. That's the issue is. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna load the save state again. Actually, this will be faster. So hit save state. So when you come out this door, the best thing to do is to immediately start holding up and right. Now by doing that, you're going to be, as soon as you can see the screen, let go of right, just be holding up. So that way you immediately curve and you hit that door every time. Because it's really, really hard to hit that door otherwise. So let me show you what it looks like again. So I'm holding up and right. As soon as I see the screen start to load, I just hold up. And you see I'm going to do that every single time. Anytime that you're coming from that door to this one, which happens a lot in this game, you're gonna want to do that. Whereas if you're just holding right, and then you hold up once the screen loads, you're gonna take a little bit more of an arc. This way, what she does is she like rubs against the desk or whatever in front, and boom, like I'm out the door before it even finishes loading. You know what I mean? So here you're gonna hold up, right around here. So kind of like in line with this, you're gonna want to start curving this way. That way you want to end right here. And as soon as you hit the stairwell, just hold actual left. So I'll do that all real quick. Slide my face across the desk, hit that door, boom, I'm out. I'm holding up, curve. That way, if you go a little early and you run into the wall, it'll slide you off of it, which is still faster than going straight up, going down left. And as soon as I see myself make it into the stairwell, I release up and I just hold directly left. Now on this next one, you're going to hold diagonally down and left. So down and left. Now make sure you let go of down and left, because as you can see here, she'll come down and you'll literally slide your face across this door. So right as you get to the door handle, just push left and she'll run in. Right here you want to hold up, you want to turn a little bit, so come in like this, turn, and then hit A. Because otherwise, if you just run straight up, you're going to be like over here. So even though it's just like a minor input, you're a lot closer. And you just hit X, you mash through all this nonsense. There's going to be a lot of mashing. Just keep mashing until the screen transitions. He's going to give you the gun. Okay, so right here is where you need to pay attention. So you're gonna input 2 commands. Once you see this happen, start mashing circle. And then just back to mashing X. Now this is gonna open up. You want to hit store equipment. Wait, what? What am I doing? I can't remember. Oh yeah, you go to this, and you can either move it to the right or discard it. Moving it to the right actually takes longer, so I just come down here and I discard it. Then I back out, I go down once, come over here. This is the fastest way to move items from your inventory to the chest, is to actually select one of these blank spots over here, as opposed to coming here, hitting move, choosing spot. You can actually just hit this, boom, 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 and you're good. Back out, back out, back out. Get this box right here. Boom, tool, and then start heading out this door. Make sure you get that box. It's very important. If you're like worried about how the game's gonna go, you can actually come up here and get this potion as well. It's a shitty medicine, and you're never gonna need it, so I highly suggest that you don't. But just boom, hit the toolbox. Now, as you can see, if you're holding diagonally left, you can actually get stuck. So it's good to take a couple steps out before you start holding it. Start holding up and right, because it'll just run you right into the stairwell, just every single time. Continue to hold up and right. Now, as you get to this, you can actually, this bush right here is a huge hitbox. So you can see here that I'm actually getting caught on that bush. So what you want to do is make sure that see this line right here on the ground? The best place to be is like right here, where you're not dead. It's not like directly under your center of your body, but you're a little bit to the right of it. And I'll show you why in a second. But anyways, you run up, you prompt this little sequence right here. You're gonna mash. Daniel's gonna come over and say what's good. Continue to mash. Now right here is when you should start paying more attention, because after this you got just a little bit more mashing. As soon as you see Daniel walk away, start holding down, and like when we were exiting the room where we got the key from the charred man in the actual opera house, you're gonna want to hold down and just flicker. So fuck, I should have done that better. Flicker to the right like that. That way you're running on this line how I am now. And there's 2 reasons for that. One, because you can actually get, if you just run straight down, you're gonna get stuck on the bush, which is dumb. So you'll end up like right here, or like over here. And you can see how stupid that hitbox is. So dumb. But if you're on this line, you're never gonna have that happen. And that way, you have a smaller walking animation to the door. Now, for this, hold down and right as soon as it finishes loading. Basically, do the opposite of what you did leaving this room a little bit ago. You're gonna hit. I hit circle, or I'm holding circle when I come in here, and I'm mashing X. As soon as that text box goes away, I stop mashing X, because you actually can't move it until after the text box goes away, anyways. So you actually won't stutter step. Just run to Daniel, fucking Baker, basically. Mash through this whole entire news sequence. You know what I did? I stored the mod permit, which is fine. I don't know why we don't do that, because it's irrelevant. You can do it either way. As soon as this loads, you're exiting the door again. So hold up right. As soon as it finishes loading, hold just up. And that is such a nice way to go about doing that, because that door is a bitch. Now up here, you're going to want to run to about the same spot where you'd run left of the stairs and start holding diagonally right up here. And then at the last second, just move only right so that she pushes through the door. Here I move down, and then I move diagonally, and then I move down again. That way, you know, obviously it's just optimizing movement, but there is some merit to it as far as like doing it a certain way. Now once you see this screen, just hit once over to the right, confirm it with X, and you're going to mash through some bullshit. Fast forward all the mashing sequences, especially this next one is very long. So yeah, you're always going to have to reconfirm. As long as you're still mashing X, it'll immediately confirm that while it's trying to load. So you sometimes won't even have to see that screen because you've confirmed it so quickly. So after 4 text boxes, just start holding up and right, or up and left rather. I run to about where the snow is, and I start running left, and then I go up here. And the reason I do that is because you can get stuck on these stairs. But whatever's fastest and easiest for you is fine. Mash through this. So this is actually a spot where you're going to see me stutter step. Again, because I hold my controller like this, holding circle with my middle finger and mashing on my X. So I'll actually be holding circle here while I'm mashing X, because it doesn't slow down my mashing speed. The only thing it's going to do is make me stutter step when I attempt to run. But because it's hard to time this next text box, I can already be holding the direction, and as soon as I see it start to stutter step, I just release the X. And that way I'm not losing any time to movement. So right here, a lot of people want to run to the stairwell. You can actually just hit this trigger right here, and it saves you this much movement, which then saves you a little bit more movement because you got to now run over here. So get as close to this as you can while hitting this trigger, which is right about here. You can actually get a little bit further to the left where this pole is like right in the center of her head, but right here is good. He's going to say, hey, go sign the visitor's document, and you're going to walk, right? Now, if you're all the way over here, it's going to take longer to walk, and Aya is famous for how slow she walks. So run over here, boom, hit this. You can actually hit it from right here. Even though what we're signing is way over here, you can actually do it from right here. So more small optimizations, mash a couple times, run diagonally up, boom. Now right here, diagonally down to the right. Again, holding circle while you mash with X. And then, so one thing that's important is you come down, start moving this. Now if you hug it too tight and you go up here, you can actually miss the trigger, you see? And so make sure you take a couple steps downward before you start moving diagonally. Otherwise, you'll end up at the water fountain, and he'll just stare at you for some reason. I don't know why they made it like that. It's stupid. But that's the truth of it. So this is like a long-ass mashing sequence. Just mash. Nothing to it. Let's do it quickly. This is Clamp, by the way. Anytime you see him, you're guaranteed to be mashing for a few minutes. So learn to hate him, like the rest of us do, because that's the truth of what he is and what he represents in this game. So when you see Daniel, say, God damn it. Very easy to remember. After Clamp is turned around is another helpful way. You want to stop mashing, because if you continue to mash, you're going to actually re-enter the museum. So once Daniel says, God damn it, well, once Clamp turns around, slow down. Once you see Daniel say that, that's the last thing anybody's going to say. You're going to load into this screen, stop mashing, hit left once, confirm the NYPD, a little bit more mashing. Now remember to mash all the way through this so that you auto-confirm the NYPD here in a second. Dude, this day 2 is going to take fucking forever. It's a long ass day. But as you can see, I auto-confirmed it. As it's loading, start holding up. You should get to this door right as they're closing in your face, because Daniel he don't care about nothing. Hit the door, immediately hold up. Don't move any other direction, just up by itself. See, because you're going to move in this path. Where I see a lot of runners come out and they move diagonally up, and then they move back diagonally to the door. So that's going to lose you time. You're not going to get stuck on anything. I know a lot of people think they're going to get stuck on that pillar right there. I did when I first started running. But yeah, so you can actually just continue to hold up, and you're going to run all the way, put yourself in the best possible position to hit this door up here. Daniel's going to say something. I actually don't know what he says. Let's get going. And then right here, just run into the door. Now, doors aren't pretty. They suck to hit because of the triggers and how they work. So I don't really have great advice for you besides to, when you're trying to go through a door, hold the direction. So if I'm going through the door on the right, just hold right by itself, not upright, not down right or anything like that. And that should usually get you through it the most consistently. Granted, some doors are just annoying. So keep trying. You're going to get through it eventually. So we mastered this. Daniel throws a fit. He's going to give you this another mod permit. Mod permits are useless to us. As the screen loads, immediately start hitting triangle to open the menu, because you can actually open the menu before it finishes loading. Come over here. You know, drop this mod permit. Did I do something wrong? No, I didn't. Anyways, drop the mod permit. Come down to, hit this, boom, input one command. Then you're gonna go all the way to the M16. I should have, you know what? I should have, I can't undrop the mod permit. But this is what, I'm gonna show you how it looks like quickly and what it looks like slowly. So do F8. Anyway, so you'll come here, drop the mod permit, boom, boom. You're gonna come to the gun, you'll actually have this one equipped. So let's try that again. So yeah, drop mod permit, come down a gun, you're gonna come down to here. You're gonna actually have to just input it once. So a lot of times I'll input this and close this on accident. So yeah, come down, M16, go to this one, hit it once, back, come down to the gun, down twice to this gun. You want the M19, and you want to put the bonus stats onto the M16. So you're going to do that like this. You're going to just select these bonus stats right here, this list. Now, if you accidentally choose the wrong game, or the wrong gun, you're playing Parasite, you already chose the wrong game. But I digress. If you choose the wrong gun, make sure that you understand where they are on the screen. So if this gun is over here because I selected it first, that's still fine. So like if I went to this gun and then selected this, you can see how it's arranged. Make sure that you're just putting the correct stats onto the correct gun. So in this situation, I see, oh shit, I chose the wrong gun. Go to the gun you want to strip, move the stats to the gun you want to keep. Because when you strip stats from a gun, it gets rid of the gun. If you get rid of the wrong gun, the run is over, you're going to have to reset. But if you just follow the menu and take them slow until you have muscle memory built up, you shouldn't have any issues with it. As soon as that's done, go up to sort, just mash X until you see this screen. Just like that. And boom, you're good to go. Menu's done. Now we get to do the fun part. I'm going to attempt to do a live 121 worm fight so that you guys can see what it looks like. And if I can't get it to work because I'm terrible, then I'll just show you the video of it. Again, a good thing about this game is that once you progress through a lot of the, same areas. So like NYPD, we run through 3 or 4 different times. So once you get used to the movement, you're going to just repeat that movement every time you go through the same room you've already been through, if that makes sense. So that's helpful, that you're not learning like a crazy amount. And it helps with memorization as far as like what screen is coming next and everything. So anyways, I input the command, I say yeah, just mash X all the way through that. He decides you're going to go to Central Park. You don't get to choose that. Daniel makes his own decisions, and you just have to confirm it once you're there, as if he could change his mind anyways. You can't. So you're just going to have to confirm it regardless. So mash through all that. Just basically continue to mash. As soon as that cutscene ends, just start mashing, because you got a little mashing sequence here. Now, a good way to remember this, when to start. So another thing is hold circle while you mash this. Hold circle, hold up, and mash X with your free finger, like this. Because Daniel's going to say, I'm counting on you, and she's going to say, I know. It's going to happen about right here. So I'm counting on you. So when you see Daniel do that little wiggle, that's when you should calm yourself down. But you're going to usually be able to read her saying, I know, quickly enough. And there's a little bit of lag after you input this. So before I can actually start moving, there you go. and that way I'm not stuttering up. If you stutter, that's fine. Start holding down. The best way to do this is to run down here, diagonally right. That's the fastest way to go. You'll bump on into that thing just a little bit, but you'll automatically be in the best position to just point upwards. Except this chest, again, when you're opening chests, always confirm them with circle as opposed to X, so that it doesn't ask you to put anything in there. And then continue to hold down right, and you're going to start this fight as fast as possible. Now, this fight, so this is not good ATB for this fight. Usually want a half or better. Doesn't really cost you a whole lot. You just kind of have to play it a little bit smarter. But you're going to want to always kill the smaller snake first. Always. So because my ATB was bad, I'm actually have to step a little bit away as opposed to being able to kill him before he can attack me. If you have better ATB, you'll get the attack off before he even gets to you. But otherwise, just pay attention. Stay at a range of snake attacks at all times. Snakes poison you, and it is just god-awful. Hey, what's going on, babe? What's going on, man? How you doing? Yeah, tutorial stream today, man. I figured that I should start, like, I know a little bit about this game, so maybe if it helps other runners, they can benefit from it. But anyways, always kill the small snake first. Always, always, always. The reason for that is that this big snake is always going to go to that bottom corner first. So it allows you to position yourself way more advantageously. Anyways, kill this snake. It's going to take 2 hits. Immediately start running up here to the right. Now, if your ATB is as bad as mine was, you actually should probably just stand close to the snake, then run away to bait out an attack. In the fight, up here in this corner, as you can see where I am, because that's, and you start moving up, and you're good to go. Just hold up after that's done, and you're going to go straight up into the next cutscene. Now, when she starts walking, start holding right. Like I said, all of the movement inputs are going to be in Primus's guide, so that'll help a lot. As soon as you round this pole right here, start holding diagonally up, and you'll open this door just by hitting the corner of it. Again, diagonally up. As soon as you make it around that, as soon as you make it to like this set of stairs right here, this little small set of stairs that I'm on, start holding, stop holding diagonally up and just hold regular up. So you'll slide across this thing, which will push you out here. Start holding diagonally up again, and as soon as you are free of this little barrier, this little snow on the ground you see right here, you're gonna want to just hold up again, and it'll, if you bump, it'll force you up. So yeah, it's the game will kind of, if you're moving in, if you're running into something, it'll kind of like slide you off of barriers and borders and things like that. So we actually use that a little like bumping. We call it bumping. We'll actually use that to our advantage a lot of times. So right here, just start mashing X. You're going to want to just get your first attack out as quickly as possible on whatever target it decides to target. And your gun right now, for birds, this is very important. I had a lot of people ask me about this, and I didn't realize that I was actually doing anything. It's just something I kind of developed on my own from playing a lot. Birds, what they do is they'll chase you. Once they've decided to attack you, they will chase you until you are stationary long enough or staying within a certain range long enough that they can attack you. So the best way to bait out that attack as quickly as possible is to stutter step. So it's like a lot of people say, why do you stutter step? Why do you do that? And I said, I actually didn't even know I did that. But the reason for it is because you're stationary long enough for the bird to think you're attacking, but you by stepping constantly, you move out of the range of the attack. So you're going to see me move up here, stutter step like this. Boom, just right past him. He misses, fire 2 shots. Now right here, you actually, damn it, I should have saved, or I should have save stated. Don't move too far up. Stay where you in the fight. Like stay kind of right around at the bottom of these steps. Don't actually go too close to these steps right here. Where I'm at right now is probably perfect. If you go too far up, the game will actually push you back. It'll like do a load screen and push you back like to like right where I'm at now anyways. And by doing that, you obviously lose a ton of time to the load. It's like 3 or 4 seconds you lose for free just by stepping too far forward. So ending the fight right here is the best spot. Now this fight is going to almost always drop 2 junk. So don't mash this fight specifically, and I'll list the other ones as I come across them. Do not just mash X on this one after the 2 birds. because birds specifically and green lizards later will almost always drop junk. And when they do that, what you're going to do is come down here and just hit end. Occasionally, this fight will drop a medicine. It's very rare, but it does happen. If you do see it, it's actually faster to just accept everything and menu out the junk a little bit later. So if you do see medicine, just continue to mash. But if you see junk, which is going to be most of the time, make sure you don't pick it up. Because every time you have to menu to remove junk, you're losing time that you shouldn't have to lose because you can just say no to picking it up in the first place. So hit end, start moving just directly up, continue to move directly up through this next screen, and then move directly up into the next screen. Now what you're going to do is, as you move directly up, it's going to force open this door. If you continue to move up, as you can see right here, you're not going to make it. So you kind of got to turn to the right just a little bit. Not so much that you bump into this. Fuck, I should have done a save state. Getting this room is a little bit tricky. You're going to want to kind of just let yourself be as close to this desk as possible. So when you open the door, move through the door, slide across this, immediately turn your body into this way. Now you'll see I'm holding left, and that way she'll open this drawer. Immediately after you pass this computer desk, this little blue ugly turquoise computer desk or whatever, turn to the right and open that drawer. Accept the zoo key. Now after she opens the drawer, the actual box of the drawer pushes you back a little bit to the point where you can actually just hold down and she'll leave. So that's good. Yo, is that Exocomma? What's up, baby? So we're here just down. As soon as you get to the stairs, just start holding diagonally down. And you'll just bump all over this shit. Now right here, I don't know if you guys can actually see it, or if it's in my brain, but can you see this line right here? There's actually a faint line that separates these two areas. And like Aya's foot is right next to it. It kind of runs right here. If you can't see it, don't worry about it. Just kind of like where the white turns into this. Start holding down. But if you can see that line, just get to the other side of that line and then run alongside it. And that way you'll spend the fewest amount of seconds walking on that screen, and you'll automatically start the next screen. If you're too far over to the left, it's actually going to put you back over here, where you might accidentally fight those birds again. So that sucks. I can see it. Looks like a tree shed. Yeah, it's like a it's a really, really weird. It's almost like a texture issue, but thank you for confirming it, because I always thought maybe I was just a little crazy, or maybe I was just gifted. But regardless, this next screen, hold that down and right, run to this box, try to hit this box like right around here. That way you can just turn to it, pick it up again, confirm boxes with circle. Now I'm gonna actually do two routes right here. I'm gonna show you what it looks like for the tool route. I'm gonna show you the alternate route, which loses you time, but you have to do it if you don't get the tool here. So again, confirm with circle. Take a couple steps to where you're not in the frame of the box anymore, and just hold right. And that's just gonna run at what looks like an angle, but it doesn't matter. It's the fastest way to go. Immediately start holding left. You're gonna want to run through, and you're gonna prompt this fight right here. Now the best way to do this fight is to you're gonna fight two birds and a boomerang man. So the two birds, the best way to do it is to again stutter step. So depending on where my ATB is at, so that's actually pretty good. I shouldn't have to stutter step too much, because the birds always wait a turn. But right here, this is what you need to remember. You need to run directly at the man throwing the boomerang. Directly at him. Not in any way you don't want to run in like a loop or an arc, just whatever. So right here, I'm just going to hold straight up right so that I run in a straight line towards him. And by doing that, it's going to make the boomerang go around you. And that's going to work almost every single time, unless you screw something up or your positioning's bad. So you should usually be able to kill one bird, dodge the boomerang arm, kill the second bird, then focus on this guy. So you're going to see me run right, boom, it's going to dodge it every single time. Stutter step the bird, juke him out, break his ankles. And right here, this guy can either melee you or throw his boomerang again. Now, if he melees you, it's actually really hard to dodge. Just try to keep your distance from him. He does a fuck ton of damage. But don't keep your distance so well that you actually run this way. because it'll take you a few seconds to come back to this low. Try to end over here, even if it means you're going to eat a melee attack to the face. Because actually menuing and healing, because we have to open a menu here anyways, is just faster than dodging that attack and having to run from all the way over here. So we're going to, again, this fight, don't pick it up. Never, this fight doesn't even drop medicine. So just hit end. It's not worth it. The ammo, it does not count. So here, immediately menu. You're going to go to the reload on your gun. You're going to always have one bullet. If the enemies, unless you missed or you crit, like in the double snake fight, you can actually kill you can kill one of the snakes in one turn, the big snake, if you crit twice, as opposed to 3 bullets. Now, when that happens, you will not need to reload here. Or if you crit twice on that boomerang man, again you want. But most of the time you're going to be at 1 bullet right here. 99% of the time. You're going to open this up. You're going to go to 0 or 2. Either one, whatever you prefer, whatever's easiest, an up input or a single down input. Single up, single down. X to confirm it. Now the reason we do that is because in this next fight, there's going to be a snake, and we're going to kill him first. And we can't afford to be in the reload animation before he dies, because he'll be so close that he poisons us. Now if you took too much damage in that last fight, go ahead and heal. Don't be afraid of it. Run up at an angle here, like to the up right. So where you end up over here. Like kind of run right here. And then run towards the box. Because if you just try to go straight up towards the box, look at that. Are you kidding me? Seriously? Look at that. It's an invisible wall. This game is full of them. And this is probably one of the worst ones in the whole game. Look at that shit. That is trash. So yeah, diagonally up, diagonally up. Hold diagonal up left, and then diagonal up right till you get to the box. I pick up this box every single time. A lot of people will say, like, if you got the ammo instead of the tool, you can afford not to. I pick up this every single time. Never hurts. The only thing you don't want to ever do is fucking run out of ammo in worms. It does happen. It's rare. Just pick up this box. It takes half a second. And as soon as you confirm it, again, with circle, hold diagonally up left to right. Diagonally up left to where you clear this. Because if you just run up, I guess that works. You're going to slide across that. That's still faster. So yeah, just hold up. That's fine. Oh no, that's why. Okay, yeah. So what you're going to do here, I always wondered why I ran diagonally. Diagonally up to right there. That way you don't get stuck on what you saw me get stuck on. Now on this next screen, there's a lot of trash walls. Oh dude, so many. This game is full of fucking trash walls. To the point where, not just walls, there's invisible walls, there's invisible like barriers on chests, there's invisible shit all over the place, man. It's ugly, man. It's so ugly. This game has so many, and the issue is that all the backgrounds are pre-rendered, like they're pre-drawn. As you can see, they look really nice, and then I look just like a giant Lego monster. So the backgrounds are actually drawn ahead of time, and then they were put on there, and your characters just. So they made the barriers really, really odd because everything was drawn beforehand. Regardless, in this screen, you just move up. You're gonna want to just continue straight up to start this fight. Now, right here, you're gonna want to. Your ATB is always gonna be fine here. It actually is not too important, primarily because this snake is the first thing you're gonna kill, and the snake will always move down first. So by the time he's finished moving, you should have your attack ready. And when you shoot the snake, it actually puts him in a little bit of a stun lock. So as long as you don't, here's the kicker, as long as you don't reload, you're going to kill the snake without having any issues. But, you know, hence why we reloaded. If you don't reload, he's going to not only do damage to you, but poison you. And poison is the hardest thing to deal with this early on in the game because it will just eat you up. So as you're going to see here, I'm not even going to move because the birds will never attack you right off the bat. The snake will always move down. Shoot the snake twice. Boom, boom. You see how he kind of goes into that weird stun lock? So birds, same way you deal with all the others. Stutter step. Now for this next one, you can actually bait this bird into an attack up here by kind of luring him up here. And that way you're ending this as close to this screen as possible. Again, this is another fight where you're not going to pick up anything. Make sure you don't pick it. So if these, in the last 3 fights, I haven't picked up anything, right? If I did, that would be 6 pieces of junk in my inventory, which is already insanely limited. 17 spaces I have in my inventory. 17. 6 pieces would mean I only have one more slot left. So yeah, that's really bad. You never want to pick up junk. If you can get into a habit of these 3 fights, just never picking them up, you're going to be in a pretty good position. Here, just kind of zigzag until you make it to this gate. Because your movement is so clunky, because it's a D-pad, there's a couple of screens where you're just going to have to like move a little bit and then release, move a little bit and release, so that you kind of like zigzag like that. She's going to text prompt, just mash through it, just hold up this whole screen all the way up. And then right as you get to this snow, start to hold diagonally right. And then once you're lined up with this snow over here, continue to hold up again. Now the reason I do this is because if you just continue to hold up, she's going to slide across that. And the issue is when you slide across it, she'll go into this weird sliding animation right there, which actually slows down your load. I don't know why, but I've timed it, and it's actually like a ½ second slower, or like a ¼ second. Anyways, continue to hold up. You're going to hold up all the way. If you want to slide across it because it's easier to remember, totally do it. You can just hold up for 3 straight screens, or 2 straight screens. Now this one, just hold immediately left. Once you see yourself start to walk, you got to mash. You don't have to catch that one on the first frame because she's got to finish her walk before you can continue to mash anyways. So don't be too worried if you don't get a frame perfect tech smash on that situation. So right here we see the Cher concert. She melts everybody in the crowd. I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward. As soon as it starts to load out, you're going to Exocomma, my boy. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. How many ads did you have to watch for that? Good lord. Thanks, man. As always, appreciate you and your company. So I had my computer muted. Did the sound play? Anyways, right here, you're gonna start doing the circle. Hold circle already. Just mash with X. You might, if you just tap X once, you won't stutter step. You might stutter step, not a big deal. Once you get to this little sign in this, where this border meets this rope, start holding diagonally down. And that way you'll just slide into the next screen. Just hold straight right here. Everybody was just Price is Righting each other with those cheers, so you're gonna probably be the cheerleader for a long time. Cheerleader, I never put that together. How about that? Anyways, as you get to like the beginning of this backstage sign right here, just hold straight right. You're gonna run all the way over here. Right as you get here, hold up and right, and you'll slide into the next screen. Now on this next screen, you're gonna have to continue to hold up and right. Once you get to about lined up with her, just run left, or just run right. And she'll automatically position herself. Mash through this. When she flies away, you start holding circle while you mash. Release X. You should never stutter step there because the text box has a little bit of lag on it. Take a left. If somebody does 501, they'll be banned. Perfect. So right as you come right here, start to hold diagonally, run straight down. Now this screen actually saves you a lot of time if you move correctly. So I'm going to do a save state. A lot of people will just hold down after this screen, but hold, as soon as you do a load, hold left and down while you run, because that's going to line you up perfectly. So hold left and down, and boom, right as you're right here, just hold only left, and you're going to dodge everything. Whereas if you see, if I continue to hold down, it's actually a pretty ugly movement. See how far away I am. So that actually, it moves you such an incredible space. As opposed to right here, I'm all the way over here. So that's like a 1.5 seconds worth of movement on that one screen alone. So really, really optimal right there to make sure that you hold diagonally down. So boom, once you hit the edge of the snow, just run up. Just gonna run right past that dead guy, don't bother him. Here, now, until you start running at like a 305 pace or better, I don't want to say it's based on pace. If you ever have issue with dying in this game, pick up all the revives. There's no reason not to unless you're a stubborn mule like myself. But the best way to do that is to run towards this way. Make sure that you're like in the center of the stairs, because if you're not, you'll just run into this shit. Because again, check out that dank ass invisible wall. There you go. Boom. Perfect. Perfect game. Great game. Everything is amazing. So yeah, make sure you're in the center of the stairs before you start to hold up, and that way you'll end up right here. Now this is on an invisible chest, so it's not super easy to learn how to path. Just kind of step a few steps. If you run to the right and you obviously can't go anywhere, continue up a little bit until you release yourself. That's the revive. Just return the way you came. At the base of the stairs, start holding diagonally, just run left. So I'm actually going to show you two paths. The first path is going to be your standard path. If after the double bird fight, you open up that treasure chest and it gives you a tool, like it did for me, that's going to happen 80% of the time. It's an 80-20 rate on that chest. Perfect. You're going to take this path, which is the fastest path. It's not a backup strat or anything like that. Whereas if you get ammo, I'm going to show you what that path looks like. You lose like 20-30 seconds if that happens, so yeah, it sucks. But so here, you're going to kind of want to run in zigzags. I actually have this figured out really, really well. So I'm just going to show you it. I wish I had like an input reader, because it would kind of help a little bit, but it's D-pad movement, so you just, whatever works the best for you, where you don't get stuck on walls and you're not sliding on walls. It's faster to just avoid the walls and run as best you can, even though it's a slope. Now, if you are on PS2, for this screen and any other screen you'd care to, if you actually hit the analog button while it's loading, you can use analog movement in the next screen. Now, remember, your D-pad will be disabled until you turn that analog back off. So after you're done with the maze here, I would suggest to turn it back off. I've learned it with D-pad, so I actually don't use analog for this. But you'll run down, right, left, down, left, left, down, left, down, zigzag across this. Now right, it's just right by itself, down right, down, down left. Now obviously that's going to be really, really hard and super small in the grand scheme of things to remember, so just, you know, whatever works best for you. And right here, you think you want to go left, but left puts you at like this weird angle, like an upwards. So you're going to have to hold down left for this to run directly left, because it's Parasite. Let yourself slide on this, then hold left. Let yourself slide on that. That's fine. Just hold left throughout this whole screen. You're going to slide across this. Totally good. Cool. Perfect. Just continue to chase the little girl, and boom. So the maze is done. Not a super tricky maze, but I'm going to show you what it looks like again. Now this is the second, backup route, in case you got ammo out of that first tool, or out of that, that toolbox. So you run up here. I reset, so you're going to have to forgive me if I don't know this route super well. Run down this way. Boom. Down this way. Boom. So you're going to hold left here, I believe. Yep. And you're going to want to take this path right here. Now see, this is another fickle spot. Once you get to right here, the mouth of this little path right here, as you can see it, it's where it starts to get a little grayish. Just hold straight down, and it's going to slide you into the position to be in front of this box. And this is where you're going to get your tool. Now I'm going to have an extra tool, so I'm going to go ahead and drop one. Well, yeah, I'm going to drop one. No, not yet, in case I forget something later. Anyways, so, and then you return right back up here. Make sure that you run to the point where you run into this, because if you try to like move forward before you're ready, you're going to, boom, slide across that shit right there. That's Parasite for you. So yeah, now you finish the path, and then it's eventually going to connect to the one I was on earlier. But as you can see, this takes a significantly longer period of time to do. Now, if you're doing no reset runs or whatever, because you're just trying to get runs done and things like that, it's fine. I would not suggest resetting over anything really in this game, because of how RNG works, until you're running at like an incredibly optimal time or whatever, and you need to, and you can't afford to lose seconds anywhere. So here you're gonna just, I like to run to the edge of the snow, run down, and then run back to the edge of the snow, and then just run left. Now, this fight right here, continue to run left. Obviously, running in the same straight line direction is going to be the fastest way to move through any place. That's like science or something, I'm pretty sure. But this fight right here needs to be paid close attention to. It's one of the more difficult fights to do consistently without any issue, primarily because it's 4 birds. They all drop junk. If your ATB is not good when you start, you're probably going to take a little bit of damage. Oftentimes, you're not super healthy going into this fight to begin with. It sucks. Oh, and the worst part is, look how big the screen is. The birds can travel from right here to all the way up here. You can only cover effectively like this much range. So if the birds fly up in this range, either choose a new target or position yourself accordingly. There's really no other way I could say it. It sucks. This screen is awful. Just start mashing X. Oftentimes, like you saw right here, you're going to have full ATB at the start of it, and you're just going to murder some birds real quickly. So stutter step, like I said, if you take contact damage, totally fine. Fire a shot as soon as you see those birds attack and miss. Birds will stun lock you, so if you stutter step into it and it corners you, sorry, that's just something that happens. Gonna move and kill the birds. So that's about as good as that fight can go. I did take damage, which is not 100% necessary. Like, you can make it through that fight without taking any damage, but expect to take some. Don't feel bad if you do. Anyways, right here, make sure that when you get to this, you do not take any of it. Sometimes birds have like a 10% chance to drop medicine, so this could be realistically in a perfect world 4 medicines. Just like every other fight could be medicines with birds in it, but it never is. Don't let it trick you. Don't ever expect to get the good dice roll in this game, because it's never gonna happen. So just don't fucking pick up these. So like I said, what is that? So every fight, so after snakes, don't pick up any items that enemies drop until the polar bear fight. That's a rule of thumb, alright? That's gonna be the best possible option way more times than not. Anyways, don't pick this up, immediately open your menu. And why? Because we're about to fight snakes. And as you can see, I'm on a, what the hell? I'm perplexed. Whatever. Anyways, usually you're gonna have 1 bullet here. I don't know why I saved so many bullets. Maybe not, maybe I'm tripping. Anyways, reload to an even number. Whether it be 5, whether it be 6, or 4, whether it be 6, if your shit's at 9 bullets, just put it at 10, put it at 8. Just make sure it's an even number. Either 0, 2, 2, 4, so on and so on. And the reason for that is that you don't have to reload in the next fight. And then come here and heal. You guys are going to have to excuse me for a second. It looks like my apartment complex is calling, so it's probably about the maintenance issue. It wasn't. Anyways, heal here. And that was the reason for that is that you have health, obviously. Continue. Now in this one, just continue to hold left until you prompt this fight. Now this is a fight with 2 snakes and a polar bear that fires lightning. Don't ask me why, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't have to, because it's Parasite Eve. And that's just how shit works here. So you're gonna want to run all the way here. You're gonna pump this fight. Now what I do most of the time is I run like to the right over here, and then I kill this first snake. That way I let my ATB charge and I'm not in the range to get bit by the poison of the snake. So yeah, usually I'll run over here, let my ATB charge. That snake will go down and the snake on the right will come up. And I just kill whatever snake's closest to me. Oh wow, this is a disaster. So unfortunately I'm actually going to have to use medicine. God, did I do a save state anywhere recently? Let me do one right here. Let's see what the most recent one is. Okay, perfect. We're going to do this. Sorry, but I need to have a certain amount of medicine, otherwise I'll feel like I'm giving you guys bad information. Anyways, if your ATB should never be that bad. If it is that bad, prioritize dodging the snake attacks more than killing them quickly, because that's more important. You will die if you get hit by snakes. Like, there was no way I wasn't going to die in that fight or have to sacrifice medicine. And because I got poisoned so early, it looked like I was going to probably still die. So it wasn't worth doing. Unfortunately, I have to do the bird fight again, which sucks. It's like the worst fight ever. But if your ATB is really bad in the bird fight, the double snake polar bear fight, both of them, you're going to want to prioritize living more than you are killing. Again, in this fight, just mash. As you can see, he tried to fly out of range of me because he's an a-hole. And that's just going to happen. The best thing to do is to try to stay like... Damn it. This is falling apart. The best thing to do is to try and stay... I'm actually going to go here just to be safe. To stay like in the center of this walkway, like where I'm at right now. And stutter step the birds like you've been doing. I don't know. Now my ammo count is going to be so fucking off. That way you're in the best position to be able to, regardless of where they fly, see, you're going to be able to hit them. Nah, that guy, Mac. And they fly quick, so it's not always super easy to plan. Just, as you can see, that fight can be hella ugly. Is there any major differences between emulator version and actual hardware? Loadings are way faster, I assume. Yeah, emulator is going to be pretty slow. PSX Fin, I don't think there's any emulators that we don't allow. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't think there's any. PSX Fin, I think, is universally understood as the quickest. I've heard that the BizHawk PlayStation emulator can actually be really fast, but it requires like a good CPU. Regardless, emulators are completely allowed. They're just across the board going to be slower. The hierarchy of speed is going to be a... The hierarchy of speed is going to be PSP and PSTV is the fastest with a digital version of the game. The second fastest is going to be a PS2, a 90K. The next one is going to be a PS2, older versions of PS2. Then emulator, emulator and regular PlayStation 1 are about the same because of no fastest speed. And a PlayStation 3 is going to be by far the slowest. Now granted, the overall time between the fastest PSP and the slowest is probably like 5 minutes. So it's not major, unless you're running for like, you're gunning for a world record or whatever. In which case you're going to want to have to get a PSP or a PSTV in order to beat the world record. But yeah, if you're just learning the game, learn it on emulator, learn it on PS3, whatever is available. This game is actually available digitally for $5. So PS3, PSP, PSTV, you can download it digitally for $5. Totally worth it. You can steal it and just transplant it from the internet for free, obviously. But that's, I don't promote piracy. I just practice it. Okay, so back to this fight. I'm gonna actually save state this time because I'm not gonna. So we'll do F9. But those are the only differences. It's just loads, purely loads. The difference between PSP, PSTV, and the second fastest, PlayStation 2, is like less than 2 minutes, probably like around 2 minutes, maybe. That's interesting information. Thank you. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So I go up to the right, like I said, go up here. So this is the ATB you're going to start with most of the time. Just kill whatever snake is closest to you. I'm doing extra damage for some reason. Bait the snakes out. Stay away from the snakes. Prioritize living, like I said. Now here, I'm actually going to have to heal, it looks like, because the polar bear can whoop your ass. Usually you'll be at a better HP total. I just kind of screwed up some of these fights, but the polar bear just run from. Oftentimes he's going to hit you, but he dies in 2 turns. He's really nice though, usually. And like that he'll like just run. And he doesn't do a whole lot of damage. If you're below 50 health, just be a little intelligent about it, because you can probably get killed from 50 health in this fight. But Otherwise, you should be alright. And then this one, you're going to pick up everything all the time. It's always going to be good stuff. It's either going to be ammo, medicine, whatever. Now, similar to the double bird fight, as soon as you enter the zoo, where I said that don't move too far forward or you'll like prompt a loading screen, this is the other screen in the game that it does that. So if you're like where I am right here, in the fight, like right here, that's best place. If you're a little bit further up, like if you're in past this tree, this little stick you see right here, it's gonna push you back and it's gonna load and it's gonna suck. Here you're gonna actually be full PE every time, and you can fit 2 loads in, or 2 heals in. So always do that. You're pretty much always gonna need it. In this next screen, hold down and left to get the fight as fast as possible. These guys should die in 1 turn apiece. It requires 1 hit that's not, or 1 crit on each attack. Usually they die in 1 round apiece. If not, that sucks. Sorry about you. But there you go. Boom. Perfect. So now you want to usually kill the bottom one first, and then the top one. Primarily because you can end after you kill the top one, you can just be right here. This is as far as you can run on this screen, but you need to go this way afterwards. So you want to end as close to that as possible. Master this. They always drop good stuff as well. And you're going to want to run up here. As soon as you kind of get to where you're lined up with the edge of this pillar, you can see right here, start running up. Now, as you're holding up, turn to the right, get this chest. If you want, this is completely optional. Sometimes it's going to drop a tool, like 10% of 20% of the time, something like that. And that saves you about 10 seconds in the future if you get it. You lose about 5 seconds, but you still get a defense 1, so it's not a total loss. So I would suggest getting this chest, at least starting off. So you're going to run all the way up to here. What does it say, BP? I actually don't spend BP. BP doesn't change anything yet, because there's going to be 1 point of BP. So I actually don't spend any BP until after worms. You're going to be able to crit and one-shot these birds regardless of whether or not you spend BP. And you should be putting it in active anyways up in this point. So I usually hold BP till after. I'll either do it after the snake double bird fight pretty early on, or I'll just, because it's 1 point, or I'll just wait till after worms when it's 4 points. Because the 1 point in active and attack doesn't add enough to be impactful yet. So the menu is actually a little slow, but it's completely preference. Here, I always just run behind the bush. I know a lot of people do it differently, but that way you're more likely to bait them into a fart. And if not, it's not the end of the world. The point is you want to bait the birds over here anyways. Fire 1 shot at each bird. Boom, boom. If you crit, they will die in 1 hit. If they don't, you didn't lose anything. So right here, don't pick up these items. Even if there is a medicine one, I'm actually going to pick it up right now, so don't listen to me. But yeah, don't pick up these items. Immediately open the menu. It's a Grim, what's going on? Come to here, reload. Either fill it up or empty it out. I know that some people prefer to do 16 bullets so that they're on an even bullet cycle. But you're going to reload in this fight regardless. So it's not too important. I do 16 because if I reload in a bad spot, it can actually lose me a 121 strat fight, and I don't want that to happen. So, anyways, why do I have so much? I'm getting all these offenses, man. I never get offenses. Anyways, come here, heal twice. Be at the most health that you can afford to be when you're running into this next screen. And I'm gonna save state here. I'm gonna see if I can show you guys the 121 fight real quick. So right off the bat, I'll know whether or not I can 121. And if I can, I'm going to just jump into it, and then I'll go back and explain it afterwards. Just run right here. Immediately start running right and down. Okay, I can. So I'm going to go over here, and before this worm pops up, as you can see, I can actually start attacking him. Perfect. So I run here now, and I stand to the left of this black circle, and I shoot at this guy. And this is going to guarantee that I dodge this attack. Now I run right over here, I get ready for this guy to come back up, and I immediately cap his ass. And then run to the right. So that's going to kill him. Immediately cap this guy too. I'm going to ignore this guy. Oh wow, that was poor positioning. run to this spot because it should help me dodge. Ignore this guy again. Now for this guy, I'm going to attack him. Run to this side, it helps to dodge him. Attack this worm up here to the left as soon as you can every single time, because that's what's going to dictate your timing cycle, and same thing with this one. Now on this attack, I'm going to wait, run out here, shoot this one once, shoot this one once. Damn it! So I mistimed it just a little bit. That's okay. So 121 is thrown away. It was close. It was worth a try. I was a little too quick on my killing of the middle one. Usually the... fuck, I'm dead here. Anyways, I don't want to pop a revive, so I'll reload it, and I'll show you what it looks like. So this worms fight can go two ways. The 121, which is what you just saw me attempt, is super difficult. It's by far the fastest way you can do the fight. You know what? I forgot. That's why I actually reload. So this is why I start this fight at 17 bullets. I remember now, because you need that reload to slow you down in between the last hit on the left worm and the last hit on the center worm. Good luck. Thank you guys so much, man. There's so many people in chat right now. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for stopping by. So the 121 strat, I'll try again. It's the fastest way to do this fight by far. At the same time, it's super, super hard. It's very rare. I've only ever done it once in an actual real run that I ended up finishing. So most of the time, you're going to want to... I'll show you what the traditional way to do it is, in which case I should reload back to 16. So this is what the traditional fight looks like. It takes about 30 seconds to 40 seconds longer, and that's if it goes perfectly. So you still want to run to this one first. You want to kill him as fast as possible. Now, don't try to attack him on the second one. I would just come up here to this worm and attack him, because this guy usually will wait a turn to attack again. And you want to just dodge as best you can, kill him, and you want to kill the middle worm next. He should be a turn and a half away from death. Basically, it's not really super important on which one you kill in which order. You just want to kill two of them as fast as possible. But by killing the left one and the center one, it gives you a lot more screen to play with as far as dodging attacks. Once you've killed them, stand here, run diagonally up for this guy. So I'm going to pump two into this. Basically, what you want to do is split bullets between these two so that you kill them at the same time, so that you avoid that big-ass worm I saw earlier. But if you stand where I'm standing right now and you run diagonally up, you should dodge them every time. So I'm going to attack two right here. I should be able to hit them both on one turn. Sometimes the timing doesn't allow it, and you're just going to have to shoot one twice. But I'm going to wait. Boom, boom. Hit him once. Hit him once. Move down. Back to the spot right here. And as long as you keep returning to this spot, you're going to be in a really good position to dodge the attacks every single time. Boom, boom. Oh, fucking reload. So you're always going to reload in this fight, regardless of how many bullets you spend, because you'll kill one worm in an uneven amount of bullets. And then boom. Boom. Continue. You just rinse and repeat at this point. When to reduce down to 2, you just rinse and repeat. As you can see, this is very, very easy, very, very consistent compared to the 121 strat. The 121 strat is hella hard. But boom, I got it. I killed them both in one turn. And I'm good. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to attempt to do 121 one more time. If I don't